The Behind the Seeds Tour. Have you ever done it? You should. Here's why on the Carousel of Douglas. Hello and welcome to the Carousel of Douglas. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. On Monday, I released a video about things you must do in Epcot that were a little off the beaten path. One of the things I failed to mention, and is actually one of my favorites, was brought up in the comments of that video, and so I'm going to talk about it today. That is the Behind the Seeds Tour at the Land Pavilion in Epcot. You really can't beat this amazing tour, and here's why. First off, I want to tell you where it's located. You want to find it in the Land Pavilion. It's actually a little bit hard to find the desk, but the desk looks like this, and that desk is right next to Soarin' and Living with the Land. And during normal times, it's actually staffed by the same people who are about to give the same tour. Now, what is this tour? Well, we all know Living with the Land. I love Living with the Land. It shows you all those amazing ways that they're trying new growing techniques all throughout that greenhouse, and you do that great boat tour. That really is just an overview. The Behind the Seeds Tour is a 90-minute version where they talk about all the different techniques from beyond what the boat tour talks about. So you really want to check out the Behind the Seeds Tour. First off, I want to talk about the fact that it is a guided tour that is led by real biologists and botanists, and most of them are college interns who are trying to get work done in that specific field. We had a great guy. His name was Chad, and Chad was just super knowledgeable, knew everything that he was talking about, and we just could not deny his enthusiasm for the job. We loved our latest tour with Chad. The first part of the tour I actually can't show you because it is actually behind the scenes and they don't let you take pictures. In that area, they have ladybugs and wasps that are part of their natural pest control that they use for the greenhouse, because unfortunately, they still get pests in that greenhouse despite all of their efforts. So I can't show you that, but that's the first part of the tour. The next part of the tour, they show you the vertical growing machines and the trellised growing systems. And what they do is they are actually trying to use less water and soil so that they can grow crops in places like deserts. And it's pretty fascinating to watch these systems. You've seen them from the boat. It kind of like hangs the plants and runs them through a feeder, but they talk more in depth about it on this tour, and you really should check it out. One of the things that they also show you are all the animals and some of the hybrid fertilizing methods that they're using with the animals. Like, they used to have a whole family of crocodiles that they kept in an area, and they actually used the crocodile dung to fertilize a number of the plants that were supposed to grow in swampy areas, because they felt like the bacterial load in the dung from the crocodiles would match what the swampy areas would have. And I thought that was actually pretty fascinating. They also have something that you see from the boat with that perch and trout and smallmouth bass in a tank with the plants sitting on top of it. That's actually a system that hasn't been approved yet for crops because they're still trying to figure out how to make the food not be contaminated with the fish poop. But they're still testing it, and they've been working out methods of it. They said when I was on the tour that they were actually closer than they were when they first designed it, and that it was actually possibly going to the FDA for approval soon. I hope it does, because they've been working on that for a number of years, and I'm glad they've never given up. One of the final things that they show you is the hybrid approach to growing things, where they have soil a little bit, they usually mostly use sand, and they try to grow the plants in a more traditional way, but using less fertilizers or toxic chemicals. And I definitely appreciate that approach. And then after that, they kind of walk you back through the whole system. Oh, one thing, they actually give you a taste test of some of the vegetables they're growing there. Because if you didn't know, the restaurants in the land are actually using the vegetables grown in the land. Some of the fancier signature restaurants can also put in orders to the Living with the Land ride to actually get specific vegetables or things that they're looking for, and sometimes they'll be able to grow them, or sometimes they'll even have them. So you never know where on Disney World property you might be eating food from the ride you just went on. I do have one little behind the scenes tip for you. Stay off the sand. Oh my goodness. One of the gentlemen in our group accidentally stepped onto the sand, and about 5 of these college intern botanists swarmed over to him like, "Sir, you need to get off the sand." And then they like groomed it and checked it and sprayed it and put all kinds of, they're not joking. Stay off the sand. All right, there you go. That's why you should do the behind the scenes tour. Hey, and you never know, this was prompted by things found in the comments. So if you have something you'd like me to cover about Disney World, I love sharing my knowledge with you. Go ahead and ask down in the comments. What's the next thing you want to hear about? Could it be the Keys to the Kingdom tour? Or could it be the Villains After Hours party? So many other things that I have experienced. I also love talking about hidden gems, restaurants, and all kinds of other places. Hey, if you want to hear more of this stuff, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. I'd also love it if you hit the thumbs up icon. That also helps. And I try to put out videos twice a week, and if you want to be informed right away, hit the bell icon. Well, that's it. And like I always say, I don't like to say goodbye because I'm going to see you real soon. So, see you, bye. Around property also can put in a request for. Thanks, Piglet.